I'm gonna tune into it. All right. And then also a couple of other news. So Steelers met with Antonio Brown. Steelers president Art Rooney met with Antonio Brown. They both agreed to part ways, and looking like the Steelers are going to trade Antonio Brown before the season starts. Let's go ahead and talk about that for a little bit. Where do you think Antonio is going to go, in your opinion?
To be honest, the cynic in me is like, oh God, I can see him going to the Patriots. Like, just
it was reported
worst case scenario.
It was reported that Pittsburgh is not going to trade him to any AFC North teams or to the Patriots.
Okay.
So I think we're kind of safe there.
Okay, well that's good. To be honest, I think it's going to require a team, and I'm not necessarily saying the Jets, but I'm saying a team like the Jets, a team that has cap space that can offer him the money that he feels that he deserves. And that he's earned. And the picks
that Pittsburgh want.
Yeah.
Because Pittsburgh said they're not just going to give him away. Like, they want value.
Rightfully so. I mean, I think I saw, if I'm not mistaken, he's statistically the most productive receiver over the past decade.
Over the last, I think I said 5 or 6 years. It might be the past decade, but I know for a fact the last 5 or 6 years, he's been the best receiver in football in terms of stats.
Yeah.
Productivity. You got people that say I want OBJ over him. I want Julio. I want Hopkins. Shout out to Hopkins. I know that's your man.
I love DeAndre Hopkins.
But if you look at the numbers, like nobody's been better than Antonio Brown.
And what's going to be interesting to see is wherever he goes, is that success going to continue?
Right.
Because the Pittsburgh Steelers offense over the past few years has been something that, as somebody who really only tunes into primetime or Bills games, I would say, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to watch the Pittsburgh game because they were really fun to watch.
Yeah, man, the Killer Bees.
And
you had that 3-headed combo going.
And, shout out to Juju, 5th-round pick in fantasy this year. My boy.
It's going to be interesting to see if Juju could take over that number 1 role. Because he had an excellent season last year. But when Antonio Brown didn't play, and was it week 17, he didn't play in that game, Juju wasn't the same.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same. So
I think that they're gonna replace him as quickly as possible, whether that be draft or free agency. I mean, I know the number 1 wide receiver free agent this year is Golden Tate, so that's not really gonna jump off the sheet at you. But if you think about the Steelers' offense, they have never had just one really good wide receiver. Going back to the San Antonio Holmes days, they've had depth at the wide receiver position, and that's opened up the field for all of their receivers.
That's the thing about Pittsburgh, and that's why I'm not too worried about them in terms of first of all, I fucking hate them because they're in my division.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
But they're just one of those teams that just consistently churn out receivers. Like, I don't know what their formula is or who their scouts is, but they just nail receivers, man.
All the time.
And it's usually fucking late round receivers. Like Antonio Brown was drafted in the fucking 6th round, I think. Juju Smith-Schuster was a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
He was a 2nd rounder, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they get so much value from their receivers, and they just come in and they put up crazy stats, man. Like, they rarely miss.
I think that's what great teams do. Is the great teams,
Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example, yeah.
It's crazy.
That's what the great teams do, is that they get the value from their mid-round picks. And that's something that the Steelers have done very well wasn't Le'Veon Bell a 2nd rounder, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Le'Veon was a 2nd rounder.
And I know the running backs, everybody says that they're like a dime a dozen, which, I mean, if anything, James Conner sort of helped prove this year. Shout out to James Conner. But still, I mean, that just furthers the thought process that they're just really good at developing.
Yeah, man. They draft well, they develop well, and they'll replace you in a heartbeat. But I don't think it's gonna be the same, man. Like now, they're kind of just rolling with Ben Roethlisberger as the face, and I get it. That's your Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Big Ben he very well might be the least athletic quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life, and
even Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Yeah, have you seen Tom Brady run?
I've seen Tom Brady run, but
Tom Brady runs like a fucking 13-year-old fat white girl. Have
you ever seen Big Ben try to fit his face into his helmet? It's just, and not to just not to take an opinion from another podcast that I listen to, but on the Part of My Take podcast, they always talk about how he's just faking an injury every game. Like he'll throw a ball and then he'll like reach down his calf and like start wincing, like, God, that really hurt. Just like so he can create some sort of storyline that he came back and battled through injury.
Fuck Ben Roethlisberger, man.
Fuck Big Ben.
Fuck Pittsburgh. I hope everything goes horribly wrong for them.
Burn Pittsburgh, burn. Except for Mac Miller.
All right, so free agency's coming up soon.
Yep.
And I got a list here. We got our top 100 free agency list.
Yep.
I know you took some notes before coming in. So we're just going to take a few to talk about a few players and where we think they would fit in the most. By the way, this list is coming from NFLTradeRumors.com. Shout out to those guys there. I stole your list, so if you're listening, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so number one player on the list here, and then pretty much on everybody's list, is DeMarcus Lawrence, defensive end from the Dallas Cowboys. 27 years old. I don't. What was his stats last season?
He's just tenacious.
Yeah, he's been good for the last couple of years. I want to bring up his stats real quick.
I think that would be a great pickup for the Bills.
Okay, so this past season, he had 10.5 sacks and an interception. Last season, he had 14.5 sacks. So the man has had 25 sacks over 2 years and is going to be 27 years old come April. So, first of all, you think the Bills?
I don't necessarily know. Sean McDermott has this really weird thing about him where he totally ignores talent sometimes and picks guys who have a good mindset. But yeah, right. I wish you could see the sarcasm on my face right now. but I mean, there's no denying the fact that the current NFL game is dominated up front. If you can win the battle at the line, the odds are rightfully in your favor for the rest of the game. And so it's kind of funny that, the Bills had a bad year last year and we had a bad offensive line. The defensive line wasn't really bad, but with Kyle Williams being gone, Jerry Hughes is getting older. I'm still not a fan of the Star Latulele signing, or I think that Trent Murphy might be pretty good, but ultimately you want to stack as many playmakers as you can on each side of the ball, and I think that a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence, with the cap space that the Bills have, it's not like you get extra wins because you got more cap space than other teams, so you might as well spend it.
Okay, so the Bills, I think they're like what? You guys
third,
got like top third in
I
terms of
think
free
they're
cap
third
space?
or fourth because I think they're almost at $80 million.
Okay, yeah. So you guys got the money.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think he gets out of Dallas. I think Dallas is going to franchise him.
Yeah,
and then eventually, because Dallas got a lot of money too. Right?
Yeah,
they got a lot of cap space too.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them either franchise tagging him and working out a deal later, or he's either way he's going to be the highest paid defensive player. Probably the highest paid player on this list.
Yeah.
Like you said, like nowadays, you got to have elite pass rushers. That's the name of the game. It's such a quarterback-driven league. So the two positions that typically get paid buco money is on defensive side is defensive end. Anybody that can rush the passer pretty much. So pass rushers and then cornerbacks.
Yep.
So DeMarcus Lawrence, he's gonna rack in big money. Ultimately, though, I think he stays in Dallas. I don't think Dallas is going to let him go. I think they franchise him and then sign him to a long-term deal.
I think they franchise him. I think the long-term deal, I think they got to hold off on to see what kind of money that they're going to be spreading out through, like Dak.
Yeah, because Dak's contract is going to be coming up soon. Ezekiel Elliott, his contract's going to be coming up soon. Amari Cooper, they traded for. They're going to have to pay for him if they want to keep him. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Dallas. Jerry Jones, I think he's just too stubborn, though. Plus, he's a talented player, so I don't think he just let a talent like that walk away.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's one of the more exciting people on this list for me. I think Jadeveon Clowney is up there as far as in terms of excitement for me. There's some names on here that really won't do it for some people, but the Bills have so many holes all over the field that it's just I would rather have Terrell Williams at wideout than fucking Austin Proehl, some white dude in the 7th round.
So, like, what do the Bills need? Like, Let's go ahead and spin a segment. I know these are your boys.
A quarterback. No.
Yeah. Do you like Josh Allen?
So
I know when you drafted, you sent me that video
of me reacting,
live reaction,
and that was entirely genuine. I think that I had hyped myself up for Josh Allen to go first to the Browns, and I'm like, oh, God, the Browns are so stupid. They're going to fuck this up. And then hopefully we would have made a move up for Baker or Darnold. But ultimately now, I think over the course of the season that my opinion on Josh Allen changed as a leader and as an individual. I really like his attitude. I like how he prepares for the game. I love how ingrained in the community that he is. I think that all the stuff that he does that obviously the Bills publicize, like visiting the kids and, you know, doing charity work, I think that that's really awesome. But I don't think that he does it because they publicize it. I think that he would do it anyways. He just kind of seems like that type of guy. I think there's still a lot to develop for him as a passer. I think his footwork, I think that he needs to be more consistent when he's throwing the ball. But ultimately, throughout the course of the year, I mean, with Lamar Jackson, it was the same thing. I don't care if Josh Allen is running for 100 yards a game as long as he's winning the game.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I understand that the quarterback's job is to throw the ball, and Josh Allen was drafted for his arm. But if you weren't happy about the surprising athleticism and quickness that he showed this year, then I just think you're an idiot. So transitioning back, I think that to put him in the best position to succeed, I think first and foremost, O-line.
Yeah, I agree.
We have so many holes. I mean, when we drafted Josh Allen, we were obviously not anticipating Richie to go crazy. Shout out to Richie. I hope you're doing better.
Yeah, man. He went batshit crazy.
He went fucking insane. He went insane. And then Eric Wood with his career ending.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit you never want to see.
And I traded Cordy Glenn, right?
Yeah, and, you know, we had traded Cordy Glenn because Deion Dawkins had done a sufficient job while Cordy Glenn was injured because he's always injured. But they were anticipating Deion to have a little bit more help on that left side because of obviously Richie being on that side. So the circumstances that took place after the trade kind of made that trade look worse than at the time than it actually was.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew that we were trying to move up the draft board to take a quarterback.
Right.
Everybody knew.
Yeah.
So I think you just kind of got to roll with it. I think Deion Dawkins is a sufficient tackle. I think he'll get the job done for you. He might not be all pro, best in the league, Pro Bowler, but I don't really see as many blown coverages as some other Buffalo fans have.
Yeah, if I'm the Bills, I'm thinking that you try to go into this offseason and draft linemen, sign linemen. Like, I don't really see any like big signings at the O-line this year. Maybe so you got Trent Brown from New England.
Yeah.
Devin
Him
Smith
and
from Tampa Bay.
Those are the two that I would if I was going to run the team that I would go after, only because of the fact they're at a 26 age range. Anything really older than that might not fit in with the window that the team really has. I think that their window to compete might not even be next year. I guess it all depends on the draft and the moves that they make this offseason, but maybe 2 to 3 years from now, This is going to be their prime window. You know, Josh Allen's still on his rookie contract, which we all know is pretty huge. But so for me, it starts with the O-line. I think getting as many playmakers on the defensive line too. Kyle Williams was not somebody that lit up the score sheet in the later part of his career, but he was somebody that was doing all of the fundamentally sound, intelligent, correct plays that put other people in positions to do that and to blow up their stats a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to be a big loss. I think we're going to have to obviously draft, sign somebody to take over that role. The thing that perplexes me a little bit is the wide receiver position. Like I said earlier, the best wide receiver that I can see on this list, highest up, is Golden Tate, who's 31.
Yeah, and then
next
after
you
him,
get to Terrell Williams, and then you get Adam Humphries. Right. Nothing against Adam Humphries, but we're not the Patriots, so we can't turn those late round white boys into like decent receivers.
Cole Beasley, he's pretty good. I like Cole Beasley. He's one of those. He is one of those players where it's like, okay, he's only a slot receiver,
but
he's really good. He just gets open.
I'm kind of weird with Cole Beasley. I think you know my temper at this point.